Hey everyone, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Sunday photo editing live stream where you can submit your images and I edit them using Olympus Workspace or Lightroom depending on the camera. And also I put my image out there for you guys to edit. You know, it's always fun seeing what many different photographers do with the same images or the same image in editing. And I think it's a great learning experience for me and for everyone watching as well to see the different takes that I do on your image and also the different takes that all of you do on my image. So, and mainly we're just here to kind of have some fun and you know, talk about photography in general, things like that. So, let me, as always, I didn't really give myself enough time between streams to get everything set up, but I have downloaded the images already, so I just need to open up Workspace and set up my screens and we'll get started. So give me a second. And looks like we have a good small group again, which is always nice. All right, move this window over here. Good. All right, I think I'm set. So let's go ahead and get started. First one here is from Randy. And, oh, let me see who's here. Randy's here, good. Trevor, Dave Nelson, Scott Mumford, awesome. Stephen Page, hello. Lysippus is back. Demorkan, yeah. Jonas, good to see you. Matt, oh wow, another one. Hello from Poland. Message, Macy. I'm just gonna say Macy. I don't know how to pronounce your name. If you could spell it out phonetically for me, that would help. And John follows, good to see you. Lauren is back. And Paul Celeru, good to see you. Rick Bear, oh my goodness, hi. Hi Rick, how are you? I didn't see you in the last stream, but I'm glad you're here. That's awesome. I hope you and Magrat are doing well. And Soft to Be Fun is back. Mag is sleeping on your left elbow. Awesome. Some of us are in lockdown and the weather has been awful. Not many photos. Yeah. It's okay. Send me an old one. But all right, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, wow. This is nice. This is, God, look at the depth of field on this is really shallow. I'm curious what you shot with here. EM1 Mark II with the 300mm f4. Yeah, at f4, that's why. 1/2000th of a second, ISO 400, plus 7 EV, spot metering. Yeah, all good settings. Nothing to complain about there. Let me set up my timer. And oh, hi John, welcome. Handheld. Well, you're 1/2000th of a second, so you should be okay. Look at that. That lens always impresses me. So you're in Vivid, but I think I'm going to go to a pop art. And then I'm going to throw in some gradation, if you haven't already, right here. And compositionally, I think we're set, except for this little strand right here, which, you know, you can't avoid those things sometimes. But I think I'm just going to get rid of some of the busyness here on the left side. Like so. That's too tight though, isn't it? Maybe about there. I mean, I like the way you compose this already, but I just have to crop a little bit more. Add some vignette, and let's throw in some sharpness. Filters are off, good. Yeah, spot heal, maybe. Maybe I can. It's a little bit tricky on this image with workspace, but I'll try. If I was using Lightroom, this would be a lot easier, but I need a much bigger brush. I need some blur. I don't know how this is going to look because there's some shine underneath here that I'm going to lose if I brush. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Yeah, workspace is not good for it. See, the problem with this, with trying to do a cloning thing is, you see how there's some shine underneath here? I'm not able to reproduce that anywhere. Maybe, well, maybe right here. Let me try one more time and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to try right here because there is some shine here. I need some more blur. I might be able to get away with it here. And then let's go here. Let me take a little bit from here. Well, anyway, that's workspace. I'm not going to be able to get much better. Let me take that one off. I'm going to leave it alone. I can't do it in workspace. Let me work the tone curve a little bit. I need to brighten up this part here. So that's all over in here. We'll do that. Keep the oh, wait, let me try that again. Let me pull it up here. I'm gonna put a pin here and just bring some contrast back in. Heavier vignette this way. And I wonder if I can just pull the yellows down. This yellow and this green. Oh, I'm out of time. All right. So let's check the before and after. It needs to render a little bit, but I think, yeah, that's about right. Like I said, in Lightroom, you could probably brush that out really easily if you wanted to, but you don't need to. But yeah, all right, looks good. Let's go to the next shot. And this is from DeMorkin from actually last week, but he asked me to wait to edit it to this week. So here we go. It's a graveyard. What do we shoot with here? This is EM10 Mark II with a 12 to 60 lens from, that's the kit lens for a Panasonic at 40 millimeters at 5.5, 1/500th. Yep, all good settings, but you dialed in a -1 EV. That's interesting. I guess, I don't know why you would do that because that makes all these really dark here. So what I'm going to do, I need to straighten a little bit. And not that much, just about that. And then let's go to a black and white. And then let's push the gradation up again here. There, that brought that in. Okay, compositionally, let's go a little bit wider. Come in a little tighter. Must be warm out because the bugs are out. Let me try this, because these two tombstones on the right are kind of cut off from the image. I think right about there, then we can get some more detail in. All right, speaking of detail, let's do that. And hi, nature, how are you? Let's throw in a vignette. And let's go soft focus. All right, now we're getting there. Now let's pull some of the blacks back in. Right about there. Okay. Composition wise, I'm still not really happy with this. Because normally when I have tombstones, I kind of like to be able to read some of the tombstones too. Let me see if there's enough detail in here. Just enough, but not quite. Because these tombstones are all worn out. So let me throw in a heavier vignette. You're funny, Lauren. Nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. That's true. Let's silhouette some of it. I really don't like this background here being so bright. Let me look at the color part again. What if I throw in a green filter? I was hoping to make that darker. Let me try red. Didn't make much difference. I'm going to turn this off. I'm wondering if I like this one tree over here. Let me see. Maybe I got the crop all wrong. Let me try right there. Yeah, I like this better. Okay. Oh, I'm done. All right, so time's up. So let's, whoops. Let's do a before and after. So there's a before and after. Yeah, I think on the right side is a little cleaner. Because on the left side, you have like those stones or whatever laying on the ground, which should be a separate image. I think that would be kind of an interesting image over here on the left. And then do some kind of rule of odds with these other tombstones. But basically the shot is just too wide. You're capturing more information than you need. And I think narrowing it down to just a couple of tombstones so that you can actually read them makes for a much more interesting image. Okay, that's that. The Morgan says on the right side, but it did not photograph well. It seemed to come out okay. I think it came out good. All right, let's go to the next one here. Wow, what a beautiful landscape. There was a ghost. Look in front of the tombstone. Really? Hold on. Is there a ghost here? I'm just not seeing it. Because you know who does that paranormal stuff is Randy. Randy has some paranormal shots. He sent me one of a ghost, which was really cool. But all right, let's go to the, why did this rotate? Accidentally rotated. Hold on. Let me get it back to normal. All right, reset my timer. Okay. Okay, I gotta straighten it a little bit. And this, I like the composition actually. So I like the scale, seeing a little bit of the top of the mountains. It'd have been nice to get the whole top of the mountain in, but that may not have been possible. Let's try 16 by 9. What if I cut all that out? And just focus on the bridge. Let's come down to this corner. Right about there. And let's do, oh, let's look at the EXIF real quick. We have EM1 Mark II, 12 to 100 Pro f4, 34 millimeters, f6.31, 200. Yeah, excellent settings. That looks good. So the question is, since there's primarily only one color here, green, if I can pull out some reds out of here, it might be worth keeping it in color. Let me straighten it out some more. And I have some depth here. Let's see what dehaze does. If I'm going to dehaze, I might have to go to monochrome. Okay, there's that. Touch of clarity. And yeah, monochrome might be the way to go again. I hate to go monochrome every time, but let's do that. Now we can work with these tones. I'm going to put actually a green filter might pop those trees a little bit better. Let me try that. Trying to get a little more separation right here. And these two trees might get more separation too. Let's see. Sepia. Oh, that's interesting too. That's not a bad idea. I think I'll split tone it and get a little bit of sepia in there. That'll work. All right, let's compress the image now right here. And then this, pull the midtones in right there. Okay, good. I like that. Then let's do a quick split tone. Get some sepia. Let's see the shadows. We'll do sepia. And we'll put the highlights kind of in a blue. A little bit less blue, just a little bit. Why does it look green? I'm struggling just a little bit. Maybe if I go a little bit higher here. And go to the green channel. Whoops. No. All right, that's good enough. I'm out of time. So let's do a before and after. Uh, so again, too much information. I mean, I kind of like the scale of the mountains on the left side, but because the top got cut off, it just looks like the picture's cut off. You know, you're kind of cheating the viewer out of the scale. I don't know how else to put it. So what I did was, you know, we went monochrome because there's really only one color in the image, green. So we went monochrome, but I tried to bring some, I really wanted a little bit more sepia in the image like Lauren suggested, but I think the crop works here because I wanted to keep the reflection of these trees down here leading up to the bridge, right? And now we have all the information we need from this scene. Nothing, you know, like if the person was there, they wouldn't say, you know, what else needs to be seen, right? And if you show them, they're like, okay, so their eyes are automatically drawn to the bridge, what's behind the bridge, these reflections. And I think that's all you need in this image. It's okay. It's a really nice shot though. Uh, let's go. Very good, Scott. Let's see. Now we have EM1 Mark II with the Industar 50mm f3.5. Interesting. Oh, I'm glad I could help, Scott. Hopefully that gave you some ideas. Somebody was saying they like the trees on the right. I mean, you can crop left or right on that image, but I felt like the left side looked a little more interesting because of the reflection of the trees. If I had more time, I would look at it again, right? But, all right, let's see. We have this sort of touristy boat over here. Then we have these trees. I don't know what to do here. I like the reflection, but I don't like how tight it is on the right side here. If there was just a little more space, that would have been nice. But I don't know what was over there. Might have been some garbage cans or something, right? So that's why you cropped it out. And oh, I do black and white film photography, John. I do. I got a roll in my camera right now. Actually, I need to finish. All right. Let's just work with the color first. Let's do a pop art and a little bit of straightening. Because typically the boats need to be almost level, but this one is at an angle, so pointing up a little is okay. And then a crop, we don't need that much sky. But I don't want to lose the reflections either, so let's come down. Let's come in here. Should we do a 50-50 split? Maybe? And I mean, if the boat has no room on the right side anyway, like any kind of buffer, I'm just going to cut it off. Let me pull the saturation back. And let's Add the sharpness. Okay, let me give some thought to this. From here, if I start messing with the tone curves, the colors are going to get too saturated. But let me warm it up just a tad. Let's go to let's try 6000 K and add some magenta. Well, just a touch. All right, if I put this in natural and then mess with the tone curve, I might have some wiggle room here. Oh, that's the green channel. All right, that's getting there. Maybe a little harsher on the blacks without blowing the highlights. Oh, you know what? Dehaze would work. That'll give me some blacks. I just don't want to blow out any highlights. And then, do I have any color control? I do. Let me shift these blues over to more of a teal. And I'm gonna pull the luminance on the orange a little bit, not that much, about there, a little bit on the yellows. Oh, out of time. All right. The only other thing is maybe, let me look at this full screen. It needs to render a little bit more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's a little bit oversaturated. Let me just, pull this down just a notch. Okay, there. I kind of like, yeah, I kind of like that. All right, let's do a before and after. And, you know, my goal here was really to try to make the colors pop without oversaturating, like the pop art filter oversaturates a bit. And this left side here is just too tight. So I just cut it off so it's just creeping into the picture instead of like, it feels like it's just not in the picture enough. So now it just becomes kind of an accent to the picture instead of part of the picture, if that makes any sense, at least to my eye. And then yeah, way too much sky. So it makes for a nice wide shot, I think. All right, nice picture though. Really good colors in the fall, right? The only other thing I was thinking is like a soft focus filter. But then I'd have to tweak all the colors and everything back. But let me show you what that looks like. What I would do is tweak them back out this way. And then crank the dehaze all the way. Now I could pull the blacks even more. That's another way to go, just to kind of make it a little more surreal. But okay, let me move on to the next one. That's a nice shot though. Okay, here we have Hey Roman, how are you? Um, we have some kites here. Looks like some grandparents. Oh, a dog. Wow. All right. Bob, this is too wide to tell the story that's going on right here. And his pole has got to go. So we shot with the M5 with a 12 to 50 or 50 millimeters. So yeah, you're pretty far away. So you didn't have much choice, I guess. Um, but let me just crop in on the story. Yeah, we'll stay 4:3. I might go to square crop, but this is the only thing that matters in the whole picture. Let's try square crop. That's still too much. All right. There we go. That's a little more interesting. I need to straighten it just a tad. And you're out teaching physics today, Roman? I didn't know you were a physics teacher. I know you wrote that PhD. You got your PhD in physics. All right, let's see. I'm leaning towards maybe a vintage filter, but let's not do that. Just get us all a 150 to 400 and you'll not have to spend so much time cropping. You're funny. Let me go right there and bring all that up. And then let's warm it up. This needs to be like way up here in the 6,000s, I think. And throw in some sharpness. Some dehaze for the sky, maybe. Let's go about halfway on that. Almost looks like a film shot when I cropped in and it's all grainy. Did the dehaze do that? Hold on. It needs to render some more. Yeah, I think that's good. Now it just needs a little gradation. Let me see. Let me do auto here. Okay. A little bit warmer and I'm done. Wow, you teach it all, huh? Chemistry too. I guess that makes sense, right? Excuse me. Looking like a shot from the 80s, right? I know, right? Like I could do, I forget who was it in my forum. They pumped the white balance all the way up to like 15,000 to give it this really aged look. I forget who that, they might have been DeMorcan, I think, actually, was pushing things to 15,000, but that's a bit rich here. I'm gonna do about 6,800. The only other thing I could do is like a, let me see if I have a vintage. Oh, they don't have any vintage filters here. But okay, I'm gonna call it. I think that's all I need to do here. I would love to shift the colors a little bit, but I don't have any hue control. So let's do it before and after. So there's the before shot. As you can see, I felt like, you know, it's just, you just weren't close enough to capture the story here. So that's all I did. Now you can see the kites and the dog and the person there and the guy holding a baby. So it's a lot more interesting shot. But yeah, a 150 to 400 lens would have made this shot perfect, right? All right. Let's go to the next one. Yep, I did crop, Roman. You just walked in just a couple seconds late. Let's see what we got here. Let me see how many images I got here, because I know there's going to be a few more. All right, I'm going to really try and stick to my time limit. All right. Wow, this is nice. I like this. All right, let me work fast. I'm going to crank this up to about 7,000. Add a touch of magenta. And then I'm going to, let's pull some gradation in, but then I'm going to work the tone curve to pull these blacks back in. Let's do some dehaze for the clouds. And let me add some sharpness back in. Oh, let me check the EXIF. EM5 Mark III with a 17 f1.8 at f4, 1/800th, ISO 160. Yep, all perfect settings there. No exposure comp. Okay, composition-wise, I like this tree trunk. I don't like this tree over here, but I like this tree over here. And this tree is just blocking the view. So, I need to soften this image because this is a little bit too busy here, but busy over here is nice. I like all the details here, but then I'm going to lose this tree. Let me just see what happens if I crop it over there. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more. Right there. And all right, good. We're getting there. Man, this white balance is really weird. It's like there's sun hitting here, but then there's clouds back here. I'm gonna soft focus it again. I gotta do something with these colors though. Maybe if I back the white balance off a little bit. Let's go to about 68. 65. No, that's too cool. There. Pull this down. Throw in some vignette. I don't like the colors anymore. Let me look at the before picture. I only got 30 seconds. Let me think. Oh, oh, that's brutal. That's not going to work. Somehow my colors are off. I know I'm going over time, but I gotta fix these colors somehow. It just needs a little bit. The greens are just driving me nuts. All right, I have to end it there. Too much red now. All right, I have to end it here. There's so many pictures to do today. So that's my, let that render for a second, but I just didn't like the left side as much as the right side. I really like this tree, but the spacing, this tree here, if this one tree wasn't here, I would have stayed with a wider format. But because of this tree, I just had to go to the right and capture this side. I'd really have to spend some time to fix the colors though. The colors are driving me nuts. Whoops. But okay. Thanks, John. I don't know what it is with the colors here. Lauren, nice tight shot. And there's a UFO up here. Wow, that's cool. Several UFOs. Look at that. There's one. There's one. Man, you got a whole string of UFOs here. These three. And there's a dog. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at this. I love this shot. There's a guy standing here. Man, this is Lauren's shot. And then this is the Nikon D3500 at 50 millimeters f8, 1/400th ISO 1. Yep, all perfect settings. Yeah, Lauren knows what he's doing, you know. So let's just compress the luminance a little bit and bring up the auto gradation and dehaze. Not auto, but let's manually bring. I want to bring the dog back in somewhat. So we'll do that. And throw in some dehaze. Not too much because it's jacking up the sky up here. Make it a little warmer. Oops, I didn't turn my timer on, but this won't take long. Lauren's shots are pretty low maintenance. I really don't have to do much usually. Throw in this way. Yeah, this is not a sensor spot here. This is the ball, right? I can't believe how high that thing is. It's almost like a balloon, like the wind carried it up or something. I think that's really it. I don't see, if I do some adjust color stuff, maybe pull back some of the blues to just right there, just so we can see a little more of the mountain. And then illuminate the green a little bit. Now, let me come back. All right. And let's shift. Just do a slight shift on the colors, but that's it. Okay, so let's do before and after. God, very, very little difference here. I just basically warmed it up and dehazed. Nothing to crop. It's already cropped really well. But you do have some like New Mexico UFOs right here. One here, one here, one here. I don't think those are sensor spots because either that or they're birds, right? Because you're at f8, so I really don't think these are sensor spots at f8. That's why I think this is actually something in the sky, in my opinion. All right, let's go to the next one. Ooh, wow. Snow and fog and more snow. Let's see, from Image Writer. And we did what? EM10 Mark II with a 25 millimeter prime at f1.7, ISO 200, 1/750th. Yep, all good settings. Interesting. So you're really trying to blur out this background relative to... All right, so let me straighten it first. And do that. Oh my God, Lauren, you're killing me. I can't read that out loud because YouTube will ban my channel, but that's funny. um, that is hilarious. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That that is cracking me up though. A lot of moody shots today, right? Yes, I agree. Let's dehaze the heck out of that so we can see what we're going for. And I need to tilt it a little more. I'm going to leave this one in color, actually, because the colors are so subtle anyway. Maybe some clarity, and then let's work with the tone curve. Let's push it there. Squeeze it there. Pull it a little more, then bring them back up. And let's go to the blue channel again, and let's make the blues just a little bit more yellow, right about here. And then push the shadows more blue. Let's pull, maybe not that much, that's starting to look fake, but right about there. Do the same thing on the greens. Let's push them just a tiny bit and pull it here. And do the same thing on the reds. Just a little pull here. A little bit of a push about there. Okay. Let me go back. See if I can push the blacks just a little bit more without focused on the far, not the near brackets. There we go. Don't dehaze. I already dehazed. I think I didn't get rid of that fog look. I can pull it back a little maybe. But no, I like it. I like it right about there. Because I want to see the detail in the haze, you know? But okay, I think that's it. I could tweak the color some more, but that's about 90% there. And Yeah, it's a nice moody shot. Let that render out a little bit. It's still, Workspace is still trying to make it work. Yeah, I think that works well. Maybe a little less dehaze on there, but because it is a little bit too punchy right in here, but it looks good. Okay, let's go to the next one. Um, what is that white stuff? It's not the same white stuff that you have in California. That's all I know. One here from Stephen Page. Red Ivy. I've never seen that before. So Panasonic G5 and crank up the voltage. I already have it maxed out, Dave. F8, 14 millimeter lens. Okay, looks good. Not bad. The settings look pretty solid. Just we have some keystoning errors that I'm not going to be able to fix because it's already too tight. I'll try if I have that. Uh, yeah, it's just the image is too tight. Straighten it. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of a lot of that there and just focus on just the two windows. All right, and the reds are already pretty strong, so let me pull those back just a bit. Um, Mainly because I'm going to be working the tone curve a little bit. So it's going to resaturate the reds for me. Right there. All right. Now when I go in here, dang it, I forgot my timer again, but I'm going to work fast. Oh, this is a JPEG. Oh, crap. No wonder. I was like, why did the color shift so hard? You know, like the color shift was so harsh with just this little adjustment here. But now I know it's a JPEG, so I don't want to lose the redness, but I don't want it to be that strong either. All right, let's try a little dehaze for the sky. Just a touch of clarity. Okay, I'm going to look at the before again. I need to see where I'm at here. Okay, so I'm still fairly faithful on the colors. The greens, though, I need to make the greens just a tad more green. little bit more teal on the sky. Pull in just a touch of a vignette. And then desaturate the entire thing a little more. Okay. Put the red back. 400-year-old church. Wow. Yeah, shoot it wider so you can do the keystoning correction without losing, you know, half the church if you can. But yeah, speaking of crop, let's crop out a little bit of the bottom of the sidewalk. God, I don't think I did much. Maybe just a little bit warmer and that's it. All right, I'm going to call it right there. Wow, it's a neat shot though. I think next time shoot it wider. I can see there's a building here on the right, but when you shoot a little wider, you can keystone correct and crop in maybe to the left side more. But I tried my best to get some symmetry in the image and add some contrast without losing color. I don't know. It's okay. It's a really neat church, but I think you either need to get wider or a lot closer because this shot, this angle here, by itself doesn't do this church justice because there's so much really beautiful detail in here that I think you could focus on, you know, some of the architecture and the fine details of the church. So, yeah, but you know, like, God, I really love the stonework and yeah, these windows are amazing. So maybe actually get much tighter, get much closer if you can. You probably have lots of shots of this church by now, right? All right, awesome. Oh, okay, another one here. I think, Stephen, this is 2 from you, right? Okay. This one is a little bit wonky too. And another JPEG, so I'm gonna struggle again here. Let me see. Let me just desaturate a little bit first. Right there. Just add a little bit of gradation in. Okay. Now let's pull. Let's pull this in just a bit. Oh, EXIF, I'm sorry. EM5 with a 14-42 kit lens. 14 millimeters f 3.5, a quarter second at ISO 1600. Wow. That's pretty good if that's handheld. That's a good job. Okay, I'm going to assume you were handheld because if you're on a tripod, obviously you could have went to ISO 200 and went with the longer shutter speed. But okay, let's see. Now, compositionally, I'm almost there with the colors that I want, but just a tad at the haze maybe. Get a little bit more. And let's do some keystoning. Okay. It's a hair too much, maybe right there. And yeah, I'm gonna come back to the colors on this Roman because but they were distracting me a little bit, so I just pulled them back a little bit. But I will put them back in because I can see there's some reds and things here. So I'm gonna put a little bit back in. Right there. Yeah, the balance on this picture is a little bit off too. I think, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can bring the balance back in or not. Maybe right about there. What do you mean, beautiful sapphire blue sky? I don't know what you're talking about, Walter. Hold on. Oh, this sapphire. Yeah, that's just saturation. I can put that back in. I mean, if I take the saturation off, that'll come right back. That's just too heavy, though, in my opinion. You know? Oh, I'm out of time. So let me desaturate just a little bit. It's just too strong. I'll just leave it right there. Okay, I have to call it because there's a lot more to go here. Yeah, with the JPEG image, I'm starting to get some noise into the picture that's, that if I was using a RAW, it'd be a little bit mitigated. And again, this shot's a little bit too wide. So I just tried to balance it a little bit, because this thing is very heavy in the image. And so is this thing. These two things are just pulling the picture out. I don't know how to describe it. I like the kind of starbursty effect here going on, and I like the street and these leading lines going down to the car. So there's a shot here or a composition here, but I'm just not seeing it. But there is definitely something here. If I had a little more time, I could probably work the scene a little better. But okay. Yeah, but I think that works. You can see a little bit more like before you didn't see this person here, or this works for me. It draws you into the picture a little more. Okay, let's go to the next one. Will Bailey sent me this, and this is the EM10 Mark II with the Leica 15mm f1.7. Oh, I want this lens. We're at f5, 1/500th. Yep, all good settings. Man, so I'm not gonna have colors. Maybe some dehaze will bring the blues in a little better. Let's see if there's any chance of recovering any of the shadows here. I think I'm gonna have to silhouette everything. Yeah, sell my 75. The problem is I I have a 17 millimeter f1.8, which is close enough to the 15 that I just can't justify. I'd rather have my 17 and 75 than a 17 and a 15, if that makes any sense. Okay, compositionally, I like the sunset, so I don't like this bench here. So I'm gonna go this way. Let me see. Yeah, and then let's just silhouette everything. So let me put this back to, let me try low key. Maybe that'll just, no, normal is fine. And I can't shift the colors too much, but I'm gonna cool this off a bit. Let's try 5,000. And let me tilt it a little bit. Roman says keep some of the front. Okay. That kind of works. I wish there was a little more shine on it, but I guess this gives you a little more context, right? Having a little bit here that this is somebody's balcony and it's not just the sunset scene, right? So I could I could go with that, Roman. I can go with that thought. Just a little touch here makes sense. So let me pull the exposure down and then we'll push it back. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to just push it up back a little bit. I think I need to push it right there. Okay. Let me go to the blue channel. Let me just push this blue just a little bit more. Just add some kind of mood to it. And a little bit down. Right about there in the shadows, more magenta. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so yeah, when I start playing with colors, you can kind of go everywhere. So let's look at the before and after. Yeah, it's just too much balcony here. But I think Roman had the right idea about keeping a little bit in to give the image a little bit more information. And then I just did a wide crop and played with the colors a little. I think it came up pretty nice. This is a nice, I like this. Look at that little shooting star right here, or a comet, or a plane, or a UFO. Anyway, all of the above. But okay. Oh, thank you, Marcel. Hi, Marcel. You just getting here? All right. Let's see what else we got here. Wow, this is really nice from ProRace. So EM10 Mark III with a 25 millimeter prime at f8 1/160th ISO 200. Yeah, perfect settings. Oh, thanks to Morgan. This is another one. We can really do some neat stuff with this. Let me do, oh, I have adjust color on an EM. Oh, this is the Mark III, that's why. Okay. So I might play with that. But let's go to Vivid. Let's pull this down and then let's warm it up to about 6,000 and then pull a gradation back in and a slight dehaze for the sky. And this is from ProRace. I don't know what his real name is. Let's just, oops. Let's work with the RGB layer first. And just enough. Because compositionally, I think we're almost there. Maybe a little wider shot. Let me see. Maybe, yeah, maybe that. Not that it really needs to be wider, but there. I'm gonna go with that. What did I do here? I messed something up. Let me reset the tone curve. Lauren says no crop. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty good with the 4x3 actually. We'll go full on. It looks good either way. It's a little bit wide for my taste, or a little bit tall for my taste, but that's okay. All right, now on the adjust color, I'm gonna pull the blues in. And the yellow, not the oranges. The oranges need to stay up there. And let me back this off to about 5,800. I lost a little bit too much green. There we go. And a slight straightening. And go back to my RGB. Dang it, I'm just struggling a little bit with the tone curve here. Okay. Blue channel and the highlights here. So a little bit more blue right there. Let's go to the red channel. A little more magenta in the shadows. Oh, out of time. I need some greens in the midtones though, right in here. All right, good enough. I have to call it. I'm out of time. Zoom in on the windows. I'd like to see the sun is gleaming through. Oh, okay, yeah. There's that. There's no windows, just little cracks. But okay, let's see. There's the before and after. I think the only other thing I might consider is a soft focus, but the image is already pretty soft. I'm not saying the sharpness, but I'm saying the feeling is very, very soft here. The feeling, not the sharpness of the image. And so I think it looks nice. I like the wider crop, the 16:9 crop. It was just a little bit too tall. Um, yeah, a little spackle, right? And then you could starburst the sun. Yeah, you could do a lot of artificial things to the image like I'm doing here, right? Even more with other software. I just wasn't able to saturate the sky anymore, really. I mean, if I do that here, I think it's going to look a little bit stupid. Not stupid, but just, well, it didn't do much at all, actually. And some more orange. But okay, let's move on. I think that came up pretty nice though. There's the before and after with the color shifts. All right. Here from Mike Slater. Awesome. And no EXIF data. So I'm going to assume this is this is really sharp. Wow. So I don't have to do much there. Let's just square the composition off. And just focus on the bird, maybe a slight tilt. Just to straighten the legs out a little bit. And a pop art filter. Let's go about there. And add some sharpening back. Oh, sorry. Timer and all that stuff. All right. Oops, that's too much. Right about there. And some vignette. About a -7. And let's see how we're doing. We still got good detail. I got all the good color. I think that's it. I'm done. This was a 1-minute edit. Oh, oh, that's okay, Mike. I mean, this the image is perfectly shot, so I didn't have to do too much. I mean, the exposure is not all over the place. Most of the colors are still there, so in this case, the JPEG is fine. But yeah, a RAW would be better always. But I think that's it. So there is the before and after. So it's mainly about just getting some of the distractions out. I mean, I kind of lost the tail of the bird. Oh, I didn't see that. My bad. My bad, my bad. Let's go 4:3. All right. Now I'm done. But yeah. And I did a slight tilt, so I have to crop in. There we go. There's the before and after. That needs to render a tiny bit, but it looks really good. God, I can't believe all the detail here. I mean, you can see the feathers within the feathers. Really amazing. All right. Let's check Lightroom. Where's my Lightroom? Yeah, it's really fantastic, right? Oh, thanks, Walter. Workspace does not handle DNG. It will do TIFF files, but I'd rather work with DNG and work with that in Lightroom rather than working with TIFF. All right, hold on. My Lightroom is dragging now. Let me close Workspace. So viewer edits, synchronize. All right, let's see what I missed here. I haven't done this one. I haven't done this one. That's a viewer edit. And this one. Okay. Viewer edit, viewer edit. All right, let's start here. This is Hugh Perry. Okay, awesome. Panasonic G5 with a 40 to 150, 45 to 150. All right, settings look good. F5.6, yep. And this is a pretty awesome picture. Let's go ahead and develop this. Wow. I don't think much needs to be done here. Let me click auto, see what happens. No, I don't like it. I don't like what auto did. I do want to get, I like this a lot right here. So what if I do this and just come in right there? No, vibrance looks better. There. That's silhouette. Let me see. Clarity. I'm not as good with Lightroom as I am with Workspace. Okay. All right. Dang it. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I can't see your comments. Hold on. Sometimes I like to get a little help, right, from you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can. There. Uh, all right, I'm going to silhouette a little more. Maybe I can do it with shadows and not blacks. No. Okay. Oh, I didn't put my timer on. I wonder if there's any point of doing this. Because I'd really like to see these particular ones. Just these to have a little more glow on them. But it's just not. What's my flow on this brush? 50%? Give it a little more. All right. Just compositionally, Let me try a 4x3, just a little bit wider. Yeah. I'm just reading the comments now. I'm trying to look for some ideas. Earl Grey liked the 1x1 better. Yeah, maybe. Let me go back to that. All right, I'm going to call it here. I mean, the picture was almost perfect as it was. So if I do copy, create a virtual copy, and then reset this. So there's the before and after, basically. I think, yeah, it was really perfect already. I didn't do much other than crop it. So nice job. Who was this again? This was Hugh, right? Hugh Perry? Yeah. Perfectly exposed. I mean, I wouldn't even bracket the shot to try to bring in the shadows because that would be hard. But the only thing I didn't like in the image were these buildings here on the right. So I took those out and square cropped it. And I think that looks good. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, good job, Hugh. Here from Dawood, we have an Audi. That's cool. G81 with a 60 at 60 millimeters with a 12 to 60. Yeah, all good settings again. It's just cropped in a little too tight. I would have probably shot this at like 30 millimeters instead of 60. But okay. Let's just click auto and see where that takes us. It didn't do much. And let's warm it up right here. It's called Squaring the Circle. And we're straight. So tight. This is the problem. I know you're trying to get rid of all the distracting elements, Dawood, but then you squeeze the subject in so tight, it just feels cramped. Oh, let's see. You can always do a little sharpening real easy. And just a tad of color here. Throw in some vignette. And I'm going to see if I can bring those headlights out a little bit. Let's see if dehaze and clarity, texture. All right. Okay, that's that. And let's use a brush. I know I'm making the car look better than it did when it was there to some extent. Yeah, this is the latest Lightroom I have here. it automatically updates, you know. All right. I'm just trying to pull these blacks. Okay. Now I got a minute here. Let me give some thought to. Let me see where I'm at. So it's a little warmer, a little richer, a little brighter headlights and wheels. Let me pull. I don't know if this is going to help me or not. I'm trying to think of a way to just bring the light to the front of the picture instead of to the back. Cool that off. What happened? All right. Oh, I'm out of time. All right. So, wow. I really didn't do a good job here, but let me create a copy, reset. So there's the before and after. I really wanted to try to just bring the light to the front of the image because right now the light is behind it, and I didn't really succeed. Yeah, maybe cropping just the front of the car could work. Like that's the only other thing. I mean, I was thinking a vertical crop, you know. Uh, well, let's try a square. But I don't think that really helps with the problem I'm having. Because the problem really is still all the lights behind the car. And there's just not enough room around the car altogether. Um, okay, I need to move on to the next image. Maybe right there. But okay, that's the only crop that kind of works so that you can see all the detail in the front. And then working with the gradation filters to kind of push the light to the front of the car again. But okay, let's move on to the next one. I got one more left, I think, right? Wow, this is from Surge. Okay, Surge, ISO 800 f11 on a Fuji X20. Wow, why f11? That's an interesting choice. I think with that camera, you should always shoot almost wide open all the time because the depth of field is so far. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to worry about shallow depth of field with that camera, especially on a shot like this. But let's see. Oh, okay. I'm feeling a dreamy scene here with all these sun rays coming in. And since the image is kind of soft all over anyway, let's pull the, oh yeah, I got the timer on. Let's pull the highlights in. And then yeah, there. Let me try it this way. Okay. And some vignette. Okay. Just a wider crop, maybe. No, wide looks bad. Let's try square. Right there. Right there kind of works for me. And I think I may have gone the wrong way on the dehaze. Let me try the other way. Just about. Maybe just a little bit negative. A little more shadows. Pull this, pull this. A little bit warmer. Oh my goodness, Wu-Dang, hello. You are a little late. I'm on my last picture before we get to the viewer edits. Let's do a little bit of the noise. Where's right here? But I'm going to crank this way up to soften it some more. All right, let me try. Give it a little bit more brightness. All right, that's all I can do. I'm out of time. let's see, create a virtual copy. A little bit too soft, huh, Serge? Yeah, maybe. Let me, well, all right. Yeah, I mean, I could sharpen it back up a little bit. Let's see where we are. Why is this? Let me reset. Oh, there we go. Compare and go full screen. So yeah, there's, let me get the, there's kind of a before and after. Not great. I feel like it needs a little more magenta in the image, a little more red. That's what it really needs. It's just a little more red. A little more reds and orange. A little more magenta here. Now I'm really jacking it up. Well, anyway, there we go. There's the before and after, basically. I think this crop works, though. I think the crop works. It's just a matter of getting the colors right. I'm still not getting that warm, mystical kind of colors in it that I wanted. A little more time. If I spent some more time on this, I could get it really the way I wanted. But that's probably about, I'd say, 80% of the way there. All right, let's look at the viewer edits. I sent you guys kind of an interesting picture. It's already very tight. My crop was already very tight, and so I didn't give you a lot of wiggle room on the crop. So it was all about the processing this time, right? Because yeah, this is the kind of image, what's his name? Lauren sends me all the time. They're already cropped and almost perfect, right? So I don't have much to do. This image here, I got rid of the cropping part, I think, right? You didn't really have to crop, so all there's left to do is process it. So let me give you a feel for the original image, and then we'll go to, we'll look at the edits a little closer here. So here's the original. Very flat image, right? This is a raw image. So a lot of wiggle room for processing, but I didn't see too many different ways to crop it. I already kind of framed it the way I wanted it in camera. So, all right, so let's look at what you guys did. So much wire on my photo, really? So the first one here is from Serge. Okay, Serge. Oh, I see what you did. Yeah. Let me pull up this image again. So you got rid of all of this up here, basically, and all of this wire. Oh yeah, I didn't notice all this wire in here. You're right. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, and you brushed it all out. Nice. Now I understand. Now I understand your comment. But this is really good color grading, like really good work on the color, Serge. I really like what you did compared to the plain old raw image. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. This one is from Bob. Okay, Bob, nice. You cropped out the top also and the bottom. That's interesting. But you really focused in on just the sign, it feels like, in the chair. A little bit tight, the crop, but good job on the processing. I like the very muted, like everything is muted but the chair, and the chair has lots of good detail. So that looks good. All right, let's see here. Wow, even tighter. Man, you guys are, I thought you couldn't crop this any tighter, and you guys are cropping the heck out of it. But man, look at this. So this was done in Darktable by Macy, Maciej. I think I got it. Maciej. But nice. Yeah, finally a Darktable. I'm struggling with Darktable now. Oh, I, man, it's harder than I thought. Anyway, well, I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, this is cool. Um, Let me get all the letters out of the way. Wow, you can really see the detail on the sign now. Okay, let's go to the next one. We got more Darktablers already. Yep. Look at this. You guys are nuts, man. You're cropping the heck out of my picture. I can't believe it. Ivan. Okay, Ivan. Wow. So what are we focusing on here? Just the legs and the whatever this is down here. Dang. Okay. I'm shocked. I'm just shocked you guys are cropping this, but these are still pretty decent, the crops. Look at the laughing creature bottom right. It is in the image. I'm not seeing it. But okay, let's move on. And this is this is another crop from Joni. And excuse me. Okay, good processing. This is very photorealistic, I think, like what I was seeing with my own eyes. But I'm kind of with Wudang on that. Yeah, you guys learned well. Morgan saying, I taught you guys how to crop the heck out of images. I know, right? But I thought I cropped this already in camera. But yeah, I'm kind of with Wudang. I wouldn't crop the bottom. This was Joni, right? But still, the processing is good. And you know, Walter, this is actually a sharp image because I was having trouble on most of this photo walk because I didn't have the release on. Well, we talked about that. So I'm amazed that this image was in focus. Okay, nice, nice. Wow, good black and white. Who did this one? I'm always a sucker for black and whites. Good job, Randy. Looks like he softened it a little bit too. See, so you made it really like a black and white film image. That's cool. And then Trevor says, would still crop a pinhead bot, Rob. Not sure where the pinhead is in the image. All right, and this looks like a Lauren image, right? Sepia. But let's see. Oh, Walter. Okay, Walter. So you're Mr. Sepia now, huh? And you didn't crop it at all. It looks like you took it as is. But I'm kind of liking the crops I'm seeing now that I've seen a few. I didn't think, excuse me. I didn't think this picture was croppable, but it is. Oh, you added some noise. Okay. Yeah, I did get a very film-like feel out of it. Out of this, definitely. Okay, Walter, good sepia tones. And then this is the robtrek fixer-upper. What is this? Looks like a double exposure, like some kind of psychedelic image. Who is this from? Scott Mumford. Okay, Scott, nice. I like it. I like this. That's pretty cool. Yeah, on LSD, right? And then this one, wow, this is pretty cool. This is very vintage looking, right? Let's see who this, Wudang. Okay, good job, Wudang. You did this in Darktable? This is really good. I really need to get good with Darktable because I think, yeah, I'll definitely get my edits faster and do better job than Workspace. I just know how to use Workspace. That's the problem. Oh, you're welcome, Pro Race. Thanks for submitting your image. Um, I always have fun editing everybody's images. Wow, this is great. I like this contrast of this blue and brown. Um, let me look at Wudang. Yeah, that's really good. And this is, oh my God, this is amazing though. I bet this is Neo. Neo's always really good with colors, but let me see who it is. Let's see. Image Rider. Oh, good job, Image Rider. Oh my goodness. I really like what you did with the colors here. That strong yellow at the base, and then the contrast of that brownish red with the blue. That's really amazing. Yeah, really good. Let's see. Okay, we got another sepia with a crop. Good job. I like the sepias too, actually. This sepia tone is a little better. A little bit, well, it's a little more contrasty. I think is the only difference. You know, the whites are blown out and the blacks are a little blacker. So I kind of like that. As opposed to what Walter's was a little bit more even. John follows. Good job. And good crop, taking all the mess out. I get that. Lasiva says, my first thought was that with so many wires that this was the first electric chair. Oh my God. Uh, I didn't even notice all the wires with my dying eyes. Wow, okay, now here, this is a little bit of soft focus and a tight crop. You guys, this works though. I just can't believe the crops are working. Ralph Barada. This is probably, if you're gonna crop, I think this is my favorite crop so far. Other than the vertical crop. Um, where was the vertical? I like this vertical crop. These two. Well, actually, that's probably the original image. But so those two weren't cropped. This is a crop. I like this crop here. If I was gonna do a square crop, this would work for me. This was Ralph, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got. Wow, look at this yellow. This is like really different. I don't know how it's just always amazing. And then look at the sign, it's all wavy. Everything is wavy in here. So they did some brushing with a distortion tool in Photoshop or something. This is something like Deb would do. Deb O'Connor. I haven't seen anything from you lately, Deb, but this is something Deb would do. Let's see who it is. Marcel. Wow, that's a new one, Marcel. I haven't seen you do this wavy stuff before. But yeah, everything is melting, but that's cool. That's cool. It reminds me of that old painting with the clocks melting over the rocks and stuff. I forget whose picture that was. But this is kind of going in that direction. Yeah, it's missing some flames. Where's Dave, man? Where's the pyromaniac of the group? All right, and then let's see. Is that it? Let's see. What else we got? Oh, that was the last one. So, wow. So going back to the original, that was the original. And these are like all the edits. Wow. Really amazing that you guys could crop this image. I like this crop, this square crop. It's really good. This is a really good crop here. Oh, this is Surge, right? And you brushed out all the wires. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that to you guys. But okay, I'm going to call it here. I like the square crop. And I like the vertical too. I'm going to go with Image Riders this week, though, as my favorite. For me, that was an easy pick. This is my favorite. For me personally. But I do like all the square crops. This was good too. This is like an image I thought everybody would do black and white or sepia, but really some amazing color shots too. Really, really good color. Really good job on the colors. Just looking at them again. So I'll put these up in my forum, you know, maybe tomorrow, so you guys can look at them again. But I'm going to call it. Thanks everybody for joining me today. It was a lot of fun as always. Lauren, with that joke you had earlier, oh my God, that was killing me. But I'll try and come back on Tuesday. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll post a link up tomorrow if I can make it on Tuesday. And you guys have a good rest of the week. Thanks again for spending time with me. You have a good rest of the week. We'll catch you guys next time.